Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I do a fill on short acrylic nails. So the first thing that I'm doing is just going in and filing down the acrylic. I'm trying to file down as much as I can because I am going to be going in with a different colored acrylic, so I don't want the nails to be too thick. And to do that, I am using the KANON E-File by MELODYSUSIE. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that information down in the description. And the drill bit that I'm using is available on my website, and this one is the extra coarse safety drill bit. You do want to make sure that when you're using this one that it is a safety one, because if not you will cut your clients, or you could cut your clients since it is pretty sharp. So you want to make sure that you do not touch their skin or natural nail with this drill bit. So again, just going in and filing down that acrylic. Here are some slow-mo shots. Like, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I love that dusty look, or even like when it's in slow motion and you can just see the dust coming off. I don't know, but it's just so satisfying. Something about it, I don't know. But also during this step, I am using my e-file at about 15,000 RPMs. And after we finish filing down the acrylic, I'm just going in with a cuticle pusher and literally just pushing those cuticles back. As you can see, I just kind of work my way around the entire cuticle and literally just pushing that back. After that, we're going in with the 180 sanding band, and again, this is the KANON MELODYSUSIE e-file. You also can get your name engraved in it like mine. It's so pretty, y'all. So just going in, this time I am using it at about 8,000 RPMs, just working my way around the cuticle area from the right side all the way over to the left side, and literally just removing the shine. Remember that when you're doing this step, you don't want to, of course, put too much pressure on the nail or file too much, because we're just worried about getting that shine off. That way we don't get any lifting. So we're going to do that on all of the nails, and then after this we're just going to dust them off, apply primer, and then we can start the acrylic application. Again, during this step I'm using it at 8,000 RPM, so make sure that you just adjust it to whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. Alrighty, so dusting those nails off, making sure that we get rid of any dust that's left on the nails. After that, I'm going in with the Jcbeautyconcepts primer and just applying that on the natural nail only. And we're going to do that on all of them. Also, if you notice, I don't ever use a dehydrator. I used to, and then I stopped, but I don't have any problems with lifting whatsoever. But the dehydrator just gets rid of any of the oils that left on the nail. And so really I do that whenever I remove the shine. So as long as you don't touch the nails, you are fine. But if you still don't feel comfortable, then just go ahead and do the dehydrator and then the primer. But anyways, I'm going in with my alpha brush in a number 10 and just going in with this really pretty nude acrylic, also by Jcbeautyconcepts, in the color Precious Nude. Just applying my first bead closer to the cuticle area and just brushing it all the way down towards the tip, being really gentle. And then also I wanted to show you guys an example of why it's so important to make sure that your monomer is always at room temperature. As you can see, the acrylic keeps getting stuck to my brush and it's making my bristles spread out. The reason why is because I did have my monomer in a dappen dish, in the monomer warmer, which really it was a little bit too warm in the room already, and so it was making my monomer too hot, and so it was making it dry too fast. So I ended up just pouring my monomer back into a regular dappen dish, and then it kind of cooled down a little bit to room temperature, and then my acrylic went back to normal. So again, that just goes to show how important it is to make sure that your monomer is always at room temperature, because if not, it will give you a hard time, whether it's just drying way too fast or it gets stuck to your brush. So right here is after I had already switched it over, so as you can see, a lot smoother. It's not like I was still trying to get my brush cleaned from the first nail, so you see I'm like literally trying to like wipe my brush off a lot on the paper towel. but just make sure that you're always, you know, aware of the temperature in your room and the temperature of your monomers. So again, just going in and just filling the back of the nail, making sure that we, you know, build that structure again. Since I did file away all of the, or a lot of the acrylic that was previously on the nail, I have to make sure that I go back in and just build my apex again and just build my thickness at the tip as well. So I usually start, you know, closer to the cuticle area, especially since these nails are shorter. I usually place my first bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, brush it down towards the tip, and then if I need to go back in and add more to build my apex, you know, of course, then I do so. But just making sure that as you're applying the acrylic, you're super gentle, because if not, you're gonna be basically making the acrylic spread all the way out, and it's gonna get on the skin, and of course we don't want that. So make sure that you're really careful. But if you do get any product on the skin, then of course just go in with the very tip of your brush and just wipe that off immediately, because once it dries, then it's gonna be really hard to fall off, and most likely you will get lifting. Alrighty, so we're gonna walk through the steps again. So same thing, placing your first bead closer to the cuticle area, patting it down and very gently brushing it down towards the tip, and then wiping around the cuticle area if you need to. But remember, y'all, that whenever you're brushing down, it's almost literally like a feathering motion. Like, you want to be super gentle, because if you brush too hard, you're gonna be brushing the acrylic either all the way towards the tip to where it would give the tip like a lot of thickness, or you would be just brushing the acrylic entirely just off the nail, and you don't want either one of those. You basically just want to like, you know, distribute the product throughout the entire nail evenly, and so that's why you want to be super gentle. So now we're just going in and making sure that we have a nice thickness throughout the nail and that we have a nice apex. So as I'm working, I'm looking at the nail from, you know, from the side, kind of like the same angle that you guys are getting, or the same view that you guys are getting, and I'm just working towards building my apex, because even though these nails are, you know, kind of short, you still don't want really flat nails, because for one, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think that flat nails are cute, and for two, you know, you always want to make sure that you have that apex, that way your nails do not break off. So this bead right here should be building our apex. So as you can see, placing it closer to the cuticle area, very gently brushing it down, and it's going to give that area in the middle some thickness, and that way if you were to hit your nail on just anything, your nail is not going to break off, because it has, you know, that strength, you know, so it's not just going to break. So then after that, just wiping around the cuticle area again, just very gently brushing some more, just to make sure everything's nice and smooth, wiping the tip off in case any acrylic gets underneath the nail. And then also, as you guys can see, I kind of brush the sides, that way it doesn't take away from my shape. Alrighty, so after that, we're going in with the 8080 hand file and just reshaping those nails. So just going in on the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle and just alternating from side to side. That way we don't overfile on one side or the other. And then again, filing the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. So make sure that you're holding your file super straight, that way you get that really nice and crisp shape. So we're gonna do that on all of them. Remember that as you're doing this, that you continue to just alternate from side to side, that way you don't overfall on one side and then your nail end up crooked. So we're gonna do that on all of the nails. And remember, y'all, it's super important that when I say like to hold your file at a 90-degree angle, like literally that you hold it at that 90-degree angle, because that's what's going to get your shape really straight. And then also, as you're shaping the nails, if you pay attention to the nail, you literally will be able to watch your shape change, so that way you know, okay, it's straight now, or my free edge is nice and even, or you just know when you need to stop filing, basically. So just make sure that as you're doing this, you're paying really close attention. That way you just don't overfile or make the nail too short or something. Alrighty, y'all, so after we finish reshaping the nails, now I'm going in with this extra fine tapered drill bit, and we're just gonna of course file around the cuticle area and then filing the rest of the nail to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And usually, after I finish applying the acrylic, my nails are always nice and smooth, but of course we still have to go in and mainly focus around the cuticle area. That way I don't get any lifting, and then just making sure that I file the rest of the nail. That way everything is nice and even and smooth. So again, usually I don't know if you guys noticed, but I always file the underneath of the nail. That way if any acrylic got like under the nail, I can just file that off, and then I work my way around the cuticle area, and then I file the entire nail plate. So we're gonna do that on all of them. Again, the nail drill that I'm using is the KANON drill by MELODYSUSIE. I'll leave the link down below. And then during this step, I am using my e-file at 11,000 RPMs, but as always, just adjust it to whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. And then also, if you just don't feel comfortable using a e-file at all, you could always just do it with a hand file. You would just have to make sure that during this step you're using about a 180 hand file. Also, if you feel like, okay, my nails came out too thick and it's going to take me forever to file it with an extra fine drill bit or a fine one, I would suggest going up to a drill bit that's a little bit more coarse. Same thing with the hand file. You just would go in with a file that's a little bit more coarse. And again, that's just if you need to file down more acrylic. But that's why you want to make sure that whenever you're applying your acrylic that you have some sort of method. That way you're not just applying acrylic just to apply, because that's when a lot of the time your nails just become too thick from just adding and adding and adding acrylic. So anyways, again, we're just going in with this extra fine drill bit, just filing all of the nails. And then also I will be having the tapered safety drill, or no, just the tapered drill bits on my website as well. So I'll be adding the extra coarse safety drill bits, and then I'll be adding the tapered drill bits. And the tapered ones actually have my Get Nail 32 name on them, so I'm super excited about that. I'll be sure to give you guys an update as soon as I add them to the website. So like I said, I'm super excited about adding those items, and I'm also will be adding a few more items on there as well for the springtime, and a new kit as well. Right now I have the nail kit for beginners, but I'll be adding a nail kit for press-on nails. So like I said, I'll be sure to give you guys more updates on that. But if you haven't already checked out my website, make sure that you go do so. The website is www.getnail32. I have a lot of nail art items on there. My transfer foils have been super popular lately, as well as the nail stickers, the nail tips. Everything has been doing very well. So if you've already purchased something from my website, as always, thank you all so much. And then if you haven't purchased anything but you plan to, thank you in advance. And you know, if you can't purchase anything at the moment, you know, just be sure to share it and just let your other nail tech friends know about it. Just, you know, show your support in that way. So anyways, after we finish filing all of the nails, we're gonna go in with the buffer, and we're just gonna buff all of the nails to make sure that we get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So we're just gonna do that on all of the nails, and then after that we would move on to the polish. Alrighty, so just going in with that buffer and making sure that we buff the entire nail really good. Again, this is going to get rid of any of those scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. So you want to make sure that you buff those nails really good. That way they're nice and smooth. And then also, if you just notice, while I'm buffing, I kind of run my thumb over the top of the nail to feel for any scratches, and if it feels like really nice and smooth, then of course I just go on to the next one. If it still feels a little bit rough, then I just go in and buff a little bit more. So we're just going to do that on all of the nails, and we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, y'all, so after we finish buffing, now I'm going in and reshaping her nails again, just the free edge. and really just making sure that the nails are really nice and straight. Now, I didn't used to do this. I just recently started doing it just because I want that really crispy look. I know there's people that even reshape their nails after they finish applying the gel polish to just really get their shape like really crisp. So you can do that as well. But this time, as you guys can see, like I turn my client's hand over and then I file from the top, and again just making sure that I'm filing at exactly a 90-degree angle. And so I do that on all of them. Like I said, this really is optional, but it definitely gets your shape really nice and crisp because a lot of the time after buffing the nails, sometimes it does dull out the corners. But after that, I just dust the nails off and then just wiping them off with an alcohol wipe. And so that is what the nails look like after everything. And then now I'm just gonna go in with some 90 inspired nail art. So just doing a lot of line work with the pink, purple, white, black, and blue gel polish. Of course, curing each color in between. And then I'm also going to go in and do some dots at the end. And then also there's one thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so the nail art brush that I'm using is available on my website, as well as the nail polish plate. So like I said, make sure that you go check out my website, and who knows, you might find something on there that you've been looking for forever. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just do this on all of them, and I'll be back. Alrighty, y'all, so I applied the top coat, and here is the final look. As you guys can see, everything just turned out flawless. That shape, the colored acrylic, the nail art, everything just looks absolutely beautiful.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.